Welcome back to JB Reviews. Somehow I managed to steal my wife's LX600. I'm actually headed to do some comparisons with it, so stay tuned if you want to see some comparisons with some other vehicles. But I gotta talk about what happened to me last month. So in January, my wife and I had met with the Lexus dealership in Linden, Utah. We were on a list to basically order a 2024. Well, unfortunately, we found a 2023, and originally we weren't looking to buy it because this was a premium, and my wife wanted a luxury because of some of the features that it has. And now that we've had this premium, I'm definitely excited to get her a luxury in the future because there's a few things about this one that I definitely don't like, and I'll probably do some videos in the future if they get a luxury so I can put them side by side. But nevertheless, we went to a Mercedes dealership in Farmington, Utah. When we were going there, we were only going there to look at this one because I wanted to show my wife the LX600 because she hadn't seen one because they're so hard to find. So we got there, and the online picture was not the exact model of this because they literally just got it. So I did a bunch of research on the premium, and they actually had the window sticker sent to me. So I had actually noticed that it had the upgraded semi-aniline leather, also the Mark Levinson, and the appearance package, which pretty much gives it a sportier exterior design. And the people who owned it before us, basically they put the F-Sport wheels on, which I would have probably done anyways because it just kind of completes the look of what this exterior looks like. So originally we weren't going to buy it, we were just going in to look. And my wife said, you know what, I actually like this one. It had 12,000 miles on it, and this was actually one of the cheapest premiums for 2023. They had some 2022s that were a few $1,000s cheaper, but they actually had almost double the miles on them too. So that's why this one seemed to be a pretty good deal. So we decided to move forward with purchasing this one. I talked to the salesperson. I let them know I'm going to be financing with my bank. And then, of course, I always say that because I know they're going to offer their financing. So as soon as he said that, it says, I would love to finance with you guys. And I said, would you guys be willing to take off a couple $1,000s on the price? And he said, well, no, we can't discount it. Unfortunately, the way that that thing's priced, it's literally priced to sell. And I agree with him. I didn't even fight him on price. Normally, I always try to push, but I didn't really see a way to do that because of how well it was priced. This was 104 grand, and they had a price below $100,000, which again, you don't normally see 2023s with this miles on it priced that way. There's most of them that I found were about right at 100 grand. But nevertheless, I said, well, if you can't discount it, then I'm just gonna go with my bank. And that's what I did. So I called my bank up, say, hey, great news, I'm gonna be trading in the Wagoneer because I'd already financed this vehicle with them, and they did the deal with me. And at this time, when I bought the Wagoneer back in 2023, early 2023, it was in January basically, it was kind of hard because I had never financed a vehicle in my business. Since then, I've financed the Wagoneer, I've had my dually Silverado that was financed in my business, which was paid off, and I also had my GMC. It's a small loan, my GMC is like nothing, I can probably pay it off. I should pay it off soon because I just kind of financed a little bit of it just to get on my business credit. But nevertheless, I felt like this should be a solid deal because the Wagoneer and the dually payment that I had were way more than this one. So in my opinion, it was going to be an easy transaction, and they could see my credit obviously because they're going to pull it. And I already, you know, had the Wagoneer financed for a year, and my income has more than doubled since I've been doing YouTube full time. So that was another good factor. So I called my guy up and says, hey, great news, I'm going to be, you know, trading in the Wagoneer, I'm going to be buying something else. Can you guys finance for me? And he says, absolutely. So he pulls my credit, he checks my income, says, dude, like, this is an easy deal. Like, this is going to be quick and easy. So I needed a check by Friday because I told the dealer, hey, I'm going to bring you guys a check back on Friday. And basically, you know, you guys don't have to worry about anything. So we drove the car home. I'm all set. My guy at the bank says, hey, this is an easy deal. He sends it to underwriting. I'm thinking this thing's going to get done, you know, Friday sometime afternoon. I was going to go get the check, drop it off to the dealership, and we were going to be even Stevens. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. So my guy, this was such a hard thing for him to do that he wouldn't even call me. He actually texted to me, and let me see if I can. So I'm going to show you guys these text messages. I just need to block out names. Actually, I'll just take his name out so you guys can see, because I don't want you guys to know what bank it is. I don't want to say anything negative about the bank, because they helped me out on the first loan. They were the lowest rate by 3% of any other bank when I got my Wagoneer finance. So they are still high on my list in terms of that. But unfortunately, so he sent me a text message. He says, and I'm just going to clarify. He basically said to me that they're going to need my 2023 and 2022 tax documents. Now, 2023 just ended. I don't even think I've gotten my 1099 yet from Google. So I don't know how I'm going to even show this to them in the time frame that I need in order to get this thing financed with them. And so he's telling me it's not going to be able to get done probably till next week, Friday. So I'm like, nah, dude, I cannot do that. I've already told them I was going to bring them a check on Friday, and that's what I'm going to do. So he says because of the industry standards, they're going to need these documents. And I basically told him, like, I just met my tax guy. I know that he's not going to get a phone call from me to say that I need you to get some documents together, especially ones that he doesn't have available right now. So as I said, I already had the Wagoneer finance with them. They already pulled my credit. They can already see that I've been making payments on the Wagoneer and another truck that pretty much double the price of this car. So when I do my payments, we normally do short-term financing, so my payments are always high. If I ever can't make the payments, I'll just refinance them, because we always put ourselves in an equity position when we buy cars. With that being said, they should have been able to see that those payments were more than this one, number one. But number two, which what killed me the most, was I do my banking with them. They literally can go through my statements from January till the end of the year and see how much money I made. And it literally shows Google AdSense. I don't get any other income sources from anyone else on my business account except for Google. Everything else goes into my personal. So I was shocked by that text message. I was like, so because of industry standards, which means because you did so well in 2023, they don't believe that the income you gave them was accurate. That is crazy to me. Now, and like I said, dude, just tell them that I wasn't full-time with YouTube in 2022. I said I went full-time basically starting in 2023 because we were traveling the country and I still wasn't really posting as much as I am, or as I was back in 2023. But it didn't matter. So it was just a bad situation. I literally had to call the dealership up and tell them, hey, I need you guys to get me approved, because unfortunately, you know, I just can't do it with my bank. Now, obviously, I could have just financed it in my personal name, and I could have just refinanced it in my business name, but I believe that I would have to retitle the car twice. And again, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it in my business because that's what I'm always going to do. The reason why I buy these cars is because they go in my business name and because they give me a business benefit. So I'm not doing it in my personal name. So it was just the worst situation to have to kind of go back to the dealership and have them help me get financed. Now, granted, went back there, sent them all the information they needed, got me approved in minutes. It was an easy deal, in and out of there. But I say all that to say this. The market is definitely changing. I feel as though because of people who make bad decisions, those bad decisions affect people like us who do the right things. That's why I don't feel bad for anyone who falls on hard times, because people I know who fall on hard times, the people that I respect, they would never screw a bank. They would never screw a person. You know, I don't lend money out to anybody because I just know what the end result would be. And I don't have friends that ever need money. All my friends are probably richer than me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Most of my friends are probably richer than me. And it's just funny. The bank is calling me right now. Hold on, this is funny. This is weeks later, the bank's calling me. Hold on 1 second. That was funny. So they just called me because they wanted to give me some appreciation. And I actually went into the bank yesterday to pull out some cash. And that's why they were calling, basically. It wasn't anything about the loan. I thought they were probably calling to get an update, but they never even responded back to me after I told them I was gonna go with the dealership. But that's pretty cool. I've never had a bank do that, and I really appreciate them doing that. But nevertheless, I'm not gonna say anything negative. I'm not even gonna tell you guys who the bank is, because they helped me out on my first loan, and the second loan, they just kind of screwed themselves. Because I was actually gonna move our personal account over to them from Bank of America, which has a sizable amount of money in it. And I'm sure they would have liked that, but they shot themselves in the foot, unfortunately, right? And I don't hold grudges. I don't hold grudges the first time. I won't say I don't hold grudges. I do hold grudges, but I don't hold them the first time. But I hope you guys found this video helpful. As I was saying, you know, the market is starting to change with financing. I think people are gonna really have to start coming to the table with cash. And really, I'm not gonna say I could have afforded to buy this in cash because, like I said, this is $100,000. So I don't have that kind of cash to drop on a car, you know. If we want to buy a house in the future, I'd rather use our cash for that. But, you know, it is definitely starting to change. You're seeing it in the market that people are starting to get cars repossessed. Your people are 90 days past due. And I always say this, there's nothing wrong with dropping your pride. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you can't afford your car, I'd say this 100%. I will be more than happy to be honest with you guys. If I ever get to the point where, you know, if YouTube stop paying, and I will tell you right now, the very first thing I'm doing is I'm selling my truck and I'm selling the RV. If YouTube stop paying, yes, tomorrow, everything's gone because I don't need any luxuries if I need cash, right? So that's the problem in our market is people are just too prideful to just say, man, I can't afford this anymore. And yeah, I had to drop my pride going back to the dealership. Luckily, they did give me a really good rate compared to my bank. It was like within, I think, 0.5%. I told them that the rate was a little bit lower at the dealership anyways. I didn't lie because, you know, I mean, hey, I didn't say what term it was. I just said, hey, this is the rate they have. And that's what they never asked me for the term. So that was the rate, and they kind of came pretty much within that striking point for me. And the good news about interest is it's a write-off in a business name. So it's 100% write-off. But I hope this was helpful. Yeah, it would have been bad if I had to tell my wife I had to give her car back. That would have been really bad. And I've had that happen when I worked in the car business. We had some people who had lied on their credit application, and it was a bad situation, guys. It was bad. The people didn't want to bring the car back, so I had to get the car repoed. So dealers can actually do that too. I can hire someone to go out and go get a car. Actually, I didn't do it. The lady upstairs did. But it was a bad situation. And when you lie on a credit application, just know that could be a crime. So hope this was helpful. Be safe out there. Make your car payments. See you later.